A couple of weeks ago we were on holiday in Filey on the North Yorkshire coast, a place I've been to many times over the last 23 years, and whenever I go to Filey I always love to visit Timeless Toys. It's a great little shop full to the brim with vintage toys and retro games from the 70s, 80s right through to the modern day. Let's check it out. So like I said at the beginning of this video, I've been to this shop many times and I always come away with some great items, whether it's just a Master System game or a Grandstand Firefox or a stack of board games based on their arcade counterparts, and this time was no exception. Now I got 4 items totaling £173 and the guy let me have them for £150. So we'll start off with the first console game I bought. Now I've been after this one for quite a while. I've got the first and I've got the third, but I've never been able to find this one because I can either never find it, or when I do find it, they're asking too much for it. And I'm not really a fan of this game because it's nothing like the other two. And that is Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, this isn't actually a true Mario game because the Japanese sequel to Super Mario Bros. Was deemed too difficult for the Western market. So Nintendo of America got a game called, what's it called, Doki Doki Panic or something, from the Famicom Disk System and reskinned it to include Mario characters. And it's the only Mario game where you don't jump on your enemies to defeat them. You have to pick turnips up and throw the turnips at the enemies, or pick the enemies up and throw them at other enemies. yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. And like the box states, Mario Madness. So yeah, that's the first console game I got. The second console game is something that was released on probably every console and computer back in the day. I don't think there was any console or computer that didn't have a version of this game. Maybe the MSX or the BBC Micro. I don't think they were making games for them anyway in 1991. And that is the ever popular Lemmings. Now, I've never actually played Lemmings on a console. I've only ever played it on my Amiga with a mouse, so I've no idea how difficult it is. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays on the Master System, complete of course. And I've got no more room in my cabinet for any more Master System games, so I've just got a massive stack on the floor. I do need to have a sort out and try and condense it, or just get another cabinet. Now on to the bigger items I got. I say bigger, more expensive items. So the first one, I don't know if this is an official product or not, because I can't see anywhere on the box or in the instructions something that says copyright Namco. And I have seen many versions of this, like different variations of this particular game, and that is Pocket Pac-Man. Now on the back of the machine itself it does say copyright Epoch Limited. Now Epoch is a Japanese company known for the Sylvanian families and aqua beads, and in the 80s and 90s they were making LCD games, and I think Grandstand just bought the rights. But when Epoch did this game it was called Epoch Man. I mean, they've actually made no attempts to disguise the fact it's meant to be a knockoff Pac-Man, so I still don't know if this was officially licensed, but surely if it was officially licensed it would have somewhere on the box copyright Namco. Now the game itself, instead of eating dots you're eating fruit, and I know you eat fruit in Pac-Man, but there's fruit all over the place in this one, and instead of power pellets to eat the ghosts you have to eat the stars. So yeah, it's an interesting version of Pac-Man, but even Pac-Man doesn't look like Pac-Man, because he just looks like this like black ball with eyes, and he's like facing you rather than facing the side. But like I said, it's got instructions, which have been vandalised by the previous owner. They must have got some gold and silver pens for Christmas. And it does take 2 of the little button batteries. I think it's LR44. And as you saw, the box is in okay condition, and the actual unit itself is in absolutely beautiful condition. And I will do a full review of this as part of the Retro Bites playlists at some point in the future. Not that it's going to be a very long video, because it's a very basic game. So yeah, that is Pocket Pac-Man by Grandstand. And the final thing is another blatant copyright infringement, only this time they've just not gone with the actual name of the arcade game, they've sort of tweaked it. It's a bit like when Aldi have a product that is really close to an official branded product, like instead of Dairy Milk they've got Dairy Fine, whereas this is Invader from Space instead of Space Invaders. Now this one is in a really nice box, and he did have a second one on the top shelf in a slightly battered box. This one didn't come with the instructions, and the unit itself was a bit yellowed, and I think there was paint missing on off this red bit, whereas the one in the battered box had the instructions and a nicer unit. So I asked the guy if I could just swap them, because, you know, I'm a stickler for nice boxes, and he said fine, go ahead. And it has got both of the polystyrene inserts. So this one does have a little bit of paint loss on the off and on wording, but everything else looks fine. I'm surprised it hasn't yellowed, which is really strange considering this is like 44 years old. And I'm just looking for any... yep, there we go. 1980 Epoch Company Limited. So this is made by the same company who made Pocket Pac-Man. Only it was distributed in the UK by Grandstand. This one takes 4 AA batteries. And it's working. I've given it a quick go and it works fine. And like the Pocket Pac-Man, I will be doing a Retro Bites video on this at some point. And like I said, came with the instructions. So yeah, Timeless Toys, a great little toy shop in Filey on the North Yorkshire coast. Do be aware though, if you do go there, it is cash only, but there is a cash machine across the road. Anyway, I'm going to find homes for this lot now, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye!